Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise.
Its 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds,
To seek out new life and new civilizations. To boldly go where no man has gone before.
Let's go!
All right, let's get rolling on day number 1.
So this is the pathway that leads to the main entrance of the Skirball Center. So we'll be there momentarily. Let's go, Star Trek fans. Here we are at the Star Trek Exploring New Worlds exhibit at the Skirball Center. So let's get inside and check this thing out. Okay, we're all checked in. I got my sticker here that indicates I'm all vaccinated and good. And this is my admission badge to get inside the exhibit. So let's get inside and check this sucker out.
The first thing we see is this lighted marquee on the way into the exhibit. It's pretty sweet. Right next to it here is this incredible floor display with this killer backdrop and Captain Kirk's chair from the original series. Totally sitting in that.
Live long and prosper, and welcome to the Skirball Center Star Trek exhibit. Let's go.
As you enter, we have a little friend hiding in this red rock. That's right, it's a Tribble. All right, time to make our way down the hallways and find this exhibit.
I think we're finally approaching the actual exhibit. As you can see straight ahead, there's the sign. So I think this is where it's all going to begin. So engage.
So as you approach the beginning of the exhibition, you see this great case with the gold starships. These are the ones that resemble the ones Captain Picard had in his ready room when he smashed that glass in Star Trek First Contact. Yeah, those were it.
No!
You broke your little ships.
And then off to the side, we got your introduction sign that leads us into this great-looking gallery. To give you a little background, this show was created at Desilu Productions, which was a studio founded by Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz. And it first aired in 1966. And in that same year, Desilu debuted Mission Impossible as well. So Gene Roddenberry pitched this show as a wagon train to the stars. And despite low ratings for its time, it has gone on to become a cultural phenomenon still alive today. Here's the Enterprise D from Star Trek The Next Generation on full display, so you can check it out 360. It's a very nice looking ship. This was an actual miniature that was used for filming on Star Trek The Next Generation from 1987 to 1994. Here are the uniforms that were worn in seasons 1 and 2. You can tell by the collars. Nerd alert! These are small, tight around the neck collars, and in seasons 3 and above, they were raised. Now this display here, Star Trek Inspires, shows just how far Star Trek reaches. I mean, here's the actress Nichelle Nichols posing with Barack Obama, totally giving the Vulcan hand salute. I mean, come on, how cool is that? Check out this foam hand. Gotta get one of those. This display here shows off some of the things you can find in pop culture, like this sweater and this building here that was built to look just like the starship Voyager. Quite frankly, the number of references from this show in our pop culture would be really difficult to count. Speaking of references, we see on this monitor here, they just show clips from a whole bunch of TV shows or films that borrowed or used references to Star Trek. They got a nice little timeline laid out on this wall over here. You really have to be here to really see the beauty of these things and all of its majestic glory. But this is a very cool timeline if you wanted to check that out. And here we go into the main exhibition hall where we start off with this incredible set piece from the original series. You can tell it's original because of how beat up it is. It's not all super clean and pristine. Here's one of the uniforms worn by William Shatner on the original series as Captain James Tiberius Kirk. And from this angle, we get a nice look at the blue tunic. This is the uniform worn by DeForest Kelley as the Dr. Leonard Bones McCoy. who kept the crew in tip-top shape. Finally, here's one last look at the bridge set on display from a few more angles. Just a thing of beauty, y'all. We continue on now with a few more uniform displays, like these two here. Of course, starting out with the blue tunic for Mr. Spock himself, played by the legendary Leonard Nimoy. And here's the red dress. Gotta love these miniskirts, y'all. The 60s, they love those. This was worn by Nichelle Nichols for the character of Lieutenant Uhura. And now we get into some models and props. Check it out, that's an actual working model, a tribble, and a whole bunch of tribbles just procreating at the bottom of this case. Now we arrive to the mirror universe, and here is the classic dagger and tunic worn by William Shatner as the Captain Kirk in the mirror universe, although he was our captain, just in the wrong timeline. And here's a wall panel used in the show. And here's some fantastic Vulcan costumes worn by some of the actors. The Vulcan wardrobe design, for me, is one of the best designs for any of the races in the whole series. Here's the costume worn by Mark Leonard, who played Sarek, Spock's dad from the original series. Now it's time to check out some cool props, y'all, from both the Next Generation. Here we have a couple of rifles, one of their pads. Look at that, it's like an iPad before there was an iPad. A couple of hand phasers. Yeah, good stuff. It's a Romulan hand phaser. And the OGs, y'all, from the original series. You got the hypo spray, the tricorder, Dr. McCoy's medical sensor. And, of course, a phaser and a communicator from Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Good stuff, y'all. And speaking of the Wrath of Khan, check it out. Khan Noonien Singh. Here's the display for the two Khans. Here's Ricardo Montalban. He's digging out that creature. He's going to drop into Chekhov's ear. Comedy gold. All right, and here are the two Khan costumes. This one's Ricardo Montalban's. Check out that chest window for Ricardo's awesome chest that only he could display with such pride. Fantastic villain right there. Probably the best of all time in Star Trek lore. But here's the Cumberbatch version, and it is just way less impressive. It's just so drab, and it's just, you know, the colors, it doesn't pop like Ricardo's costume. But here are some props from both of the films, The Wrath of Khan and Into Darkness. All right, we're going to leave those displays now and head towards the middle portion of the exhibit. We have here some pretty cool wall displays with the cage and Gene Roddenberry with Majel Barrett on the set of the original pilot. And here's a historical timeline. We'll get to that in a minute. But first, here's a whole bunch of other shows that were airing when Star Trek came out, such as The Time Tunnel, Land of the Giants, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, and of course, Lost in Space and The Twilight Zone. Here's a close-up of that timeline that now better shows off some of the things that were happening in the decade that Star Trek was released, including the release of another science fiction classic, the film 2001: A Space Odyssey in 1968. Gene is now seen here with his future wife, Majel Barrett, and this quote sums it all up, the one that's on this display: "Intolerance in the 23rd century, improbable. If man survives that long, he will learn that differences in ideas and attitudes are a delight." Gene Roddenberry. You're now looking at a nice mock-up of the original series bridge. Some nice little detail, all done with, looks like paper and cardboard. And some pages of some of the original script. And some nice storyboards from the original series, showing off the control room. And of course, check out the two main ships, the Enterprise and the Klingons. Things of beauty, y'all. Now, speaking of Klingons, check out these amazing displays. Some great ships, starting with this bird of prey and the fantastic wardrobe. Love this costume. Of course, this new look was created in Star Trek The Motion Picture, to give the Klingons a new badass look. And may I say, mission accomplished. As we swing around to the side of this fantastic Klingon display, you'll see the little signage here, of course stating, "Starting as cardboard villains, Klingons evolved into one of the most complex alien races in Star Trek." Which, of course, I would agree, especially with cool cats like Worf parading around, showing all of his Klingon goodness. Here's some cool props. I have a couple of those myself. I got a Klingon disruptor and a knife. Here's an amazing model. Absolutely fantastic detail on this thing. Look at that bad boy. Let me swing around to the front here and show you the top of the ship. Just incredible detail. Man, I love models. And here is a mask used for probably a background extra in Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, and a few of the props as well. As we conclude our tour here at the Klingon thing, we spin around and check it out. We're going to create an episode of Star Trek. Now, here's an excellent little gizmo. You got your protagonist. You just give it a spin. Let's see who shows up. Captain Janeway. Okay. Gotta pick the antagonist. Evil Kirk we get. Ah, cool. Evil Kirk from the Mirror Universe. The conflict is, what will it be? Polluting their own world. The action, it will be travel back in time. But the reversal is the aliens are simply protecting their young. And the second action, drink Romulan ale. That sounds good to me. And the lesson that they learn, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or the one. That was pretty fun. This next section is interesting. It's sort of basically a section where people found inspiration from Star Trek or their reactions to Star Trek. So they have all these categories and people from those categories. For example, we have, identity, diversity and politics, family, space and technology, friends and fandom, and Star Trek Today. Then you just push the button and enjoy someone's story.
Where they would do a medical drama, but at Starfleet Medical, because I've been thinking about this since I was a little kid. Because when Dr. Crusher goes to Starfleet Medical in season 2, she's gone for a whole season.
Now check out this amazing Romulan model. I love models, man. Look at this. The detail is so great. You even have the fiber optic cables coming out the bottom that helps illuminate it while it's being photographed. And of course, this was seen in Star Trek The Next Generation. And thing of beauty, here is the Uss Excelsior, as we all know, captained by Captain Sulu himself. Nice looking ship here. A little trivia here. This particular ship, the Excelsior, was also in command by Captain Styles from Star Trek III, The Search for Spock. Now we move on to some more show displays with costumes and props. Here, of course, is Star Trek Deep Space Nine. This is the uniform worn by Captain Benjamin Sisko and some of the artifacts that were found in some of the episodes. And here is Star Trek Voyager. It's the outfit worn by Captain Catherine Janeway, played by Kate Mulgrew. Female captain, y'all. Hell yeah! There's her cushy-looking chair, and one of the many form-fitting outfits worn by the luminous 7 of 9, played by Jerry Ryan. And up next, we have some more props and a costume from Star Trek Enterprise. Here's a cool hand phaser and some medical pad. Sweet-looking laser rifle. And another snug form-fitting outfit, this time for the character of T'Pol, played by the equally fetching Jolene Blalock. Here we have some current costumes from Star Trek Discovery. This, in my opinion, way over-the-top Klingon outfit. I don't think you need all the spikes. We get it that Klingons are badasses, so this is a little bit overkill for me. But speaking of badasses, here's the outfit worn by Michelle Yeoh, a true badass, as the character Philippa Georgiou. Now let's round out this costume extravaganza with a true badass, the Gorn. That's right, Kirk battles the Gorn in the arena. Classic episode, love it. Here he is in all of his green goodness. Such an epic battle between these two titans. Now check this out over here. We got us the Jeffries tube, seen in the original series and of course Next Generation. You crawl down this tunnel, look around, you got tribbles over there, and check it out, that doesn't look good. It's nasty. And then, look, stuck in the grate. Some tribbles. Hope they're okay, man. Kichiku. All right, let's get out of here. Man, this is a long squat crawl. Good thing I did my yoga this morning. Now we're getting near the back of the entire display. And here we have some Borg stuff. Check out this great... Oh, that is such an amazing scene. If you have not seen Star Trek First Contact, you got to see it. There's the Borg Cube. Check out that detail. Exquisite, man. Nice looking hand phaser from the Next Generation and pulse rifle. And some of the charging stations that were used for the Borg in many of the Borg episodes. I'm going to go charge my head. Yeah. All right. It's getting a little hot. Yeah, let's get out of here. Now check out this data display. Sweet, sweet painting of Spot, his cat. Of course, his fantastic outfit. And look, another data head. Check out this beautiful display from Star Trek The Motion Picture, which I believe the director's edition is coming out on 4K soon. I cannot wait. It's going to look amazing. Such an underrated movie in the Star Trek franchise. Here's an interactive display that was kind of fun to mess around with. You basically pick a section of the ship you want to check out. It brings up some schematics so you can look at how the layout of the ships are. And of course, you got all these different things that you can check out. It's pretty cool. And here we are, be an actor on Star Trek. That's right, at the very end of this exhibit is a chance to actually put yourself into the world of Star Trek. You get to stand on this transporter pad, and as you can see here, it'll put you into an environment, and you can use your weapons or tricorders, whichever device you grab, and it'll interact with you on the screen. So here I am shooting at some stuff with my phaser, and I beam out and then reappear back in the transporter room. So what a super fun way to end this awesome Star Trek exhibit. And of course, you cannot finish an exhibit like this without, of course, coming across the ginormous merch shop. And of course, this one is chocked full. Check it out, Kirk Battles the Gorn lunchbox. Some excellent t-shirts, hats, mugs, you know, the usual stuff you'd expect at a gift shop. And these are pretty nice shirts. May have to pick up one of those. Digging the hats too, man. I like the logo. And here's a ton of stuff. Some tiki cups, some magnets, all kinds of goodies, y'all. And oh, check it out. They got some Mego figures. Got a bunch of those. And if books are your jam, they got tons of those too. And hey, mask it up, Star Trek style. Some more awesome books to add to your collection. Leonard Nimoy's I Am Spock is an excellent book, by the way. Love some of these things. Look at that. Oh my gosh, look at this Playmobil. $500 for this Playmobil set. Woo! All right, we're going to end it here on these fantastic fridge magnets. I will definitely snag some of these to add to my Star Trek fridge collection. I think that's going to do it for today. Time to continue the adventure on day number 2.
Okay, this is day 2. You may recall this path from before. And today we're going in for part 2 of this convention. And I'm going to see a Q&A panel curated by the great hosts of the Inglorious Treksperts, Darren Doctorman and Mark A. Altman. So let's get inside and check it out.
As we head into the actual theater, today we're going to be entertained by 4 fantastic, legendary Star Trek episodes on the big screen. We begin the morning with the original series pilot episode, The Cage, followed by their second pilot, Where No Man Has Gone Before. Later this afternoon, we will get to watch Mirror, Mirror, one of the best from the original series in the second season, followed by The Best of Both Worlds Part 1 from Season 3 of Star Trek The Next Generation. When the episodes were over, host Scott Mantz, who's an amazing host by the way, especially when it comes to Star Trek, introduced the first 2 panelists.
Please welcome my good friend Mark Altman.
Yeah.
And also hosting of Inglorious Treksperts, Darren Doctorman.
After these two great Inglorious Treksperts hosts gave us some excellent Star Trek stories, we continued the afternoon with the screening of two more Star Trek episodes, Mirror Mirror and The Best of Both Worlds.
You will service us. Mr. Warner. Fire.
When those episodes both concluded, we got some more Q&A goodness from actress Barbara Luna, who starred in Mirror Mirror as Lieutenant Marlena Moreau. And then Elizabeth Dennehy came on stage after the ending of Best of Both Worlds Part 1, where she played Borg expert Commander Shelby gunning for Riker's job. So all in all, we had a fantastic morning and afternoon of great Star Trek guests.
Well, that's going to do it for the Star Trek Exploring New Worlds exhibit. I hope you enjoyed watching this as much as I had making it. So until next time, live long and prosper.